Hello friends and welcome to this video on Authentic English, and in this video we are going to discuss Act 2 Scene 1 of The Tempest by William Shakespeare. If you've not subscribed to my channel yet, you can do that right now by clicking the subscribe button and also hitting the bell icon next to it so that you're notified about all the new videos I upload. So let's discuss summary and analysis of Act 2 Scene 1. All royal passengers except Ferdinand are present on one part of the island and show different attitude towards the storm. Now, in the previous scene, we saw Ferdinand with Ariel. So, Ferdinand and Ariel are on one part of the island, and all the other royal passengers are on some other part of the island. Okay, so all royal passengers except Ferdinand are present on one part of the island and show different attitudes towards the storm. So, all these characters, all these royal people, although the people who were in the ship, show different attitudes towards the storm that they were able to survive. While Gonzalo is thankful that they survived the storm, Alonso is full of despair as he thinks his son Ferdinand is drowned. Now, Gonzalo is a very optimistic kind of a person and he thinks that it's very lucky that they were all able to survive the storm. But Alonso is full of despair. He is very hopeless because he thinks his son Ferdinand is drowned. So he nurtures a lot of fatherly feelings for his son Ferdinand. He is very sad because Ferdinand is not around and he thinks he is drowned. Sebastian and Antonio reveal their non-serious nature, and Sebastian and Antonio show that they are very incapable characters. Okay, they show that they are very non-serious, very frivolous. Sebastian and Antonio blame Alonso, saying that he should not have married his daughter to an African instead of an European, since then they would never have to be on the ship and hence not suffer in the storm. So it is discovered that where all these people were going on the ship, they were probably going to some African country where Alonso had married his daughter. Okay, so Sebastian and Antonio are blaming Alonso that you should have married your daughter here in Europe only, so that we did not have to go so far on a voyage to Africa. Okay, since then they would never have to be on the ship and hence not suffer in the storm. So this is what is said by Sebastian and Antonio. They are blaming Alonso, who is very sad about his son. Gonzalo rebukes Sebastian for his insensitivity. So they reveal themselves to be very insensitive people. Okay, so they don't care about anybody else except themselves. They are very insensitive people. Now Ariel arrives and puts everyone to sleep except Antonio and Sebastian. So through some magical music that Ariel plays, he puts everyone to sleep. And the only people who do not sleep are Antonio and Sebastian. Now Antonio and Sebastian, being awake, make a plan in which Sebastian will kill his brother and Alonso to become the king of Naples himself, just like Antonio had done that earlier with his brother Prospero. Now Antonio and Sebastian's evil side is revealed. Okay, so Antonio and Sebastian are going to make a plan in which Sebastian will kill his brother Alonso to become the king of Naples himself, just like Antonio had done that earlier with his brother Prospero. So we all know that Antonio is not the rightful Duke of Milan. Prospero is the rightful Duke of Milan, and Antonio, usurped power from Prospero. And now Antonio is suggesting to Sebastian that he can kill his brother Alonso and become the king of Naples himself. So you can see that these people are extremely evil. In fact, Antonio is the most evil character here. He is in fact, forcing Sebastian to execute this plan. Although Sebastian hesitates in doing so, Antonio urges there will be no problem. So Antonio is the driving force behind this evil plan. They move to kill the sleeping king, and then they draw their swords and move to kill the sleeping Alonso. However, Ariel intervenes and awakens Gonzalo just in time, and the murder is prevented. Now, you know that everything is being watched by Prospero. Now, the spirit of Prospero, Ariel, comes and intervenes, and he wakes up this sleeping king. He wakes Gonzalo up just in time, and the murder is prevented. Okay, so if he did not wake him up, they would definitely have killed the king. Antonio makes up a false story to explain why they drew the swords, saying they heard noise from bulls and lions. So you can see that he is such a bad character. He is making a false story now to tell that, they drew the swords because they heard the noise from bulls and lions. Alonso trusts his brother and all of them exit in search of Ferdinand. And now Alonso is, very trusting of his brother. At least we can see that Alonso is a good king in certain aspects. He trusts his relatives. He loves his son and also trusts his brother, and all of them exit in search of Ferdinand. So this was the summary of Act 2 Scene 1. Now a short analysis. Good and bad characters are distinguished. Alonso deeply cares for his son, and although Alonso may not be a very good person, but he deeply cares for his son and also trusts his brother. Gonzalo's character is revealed. He's shown to be an optimistic man as he is thankful for being safe in the storm. So Gonzalo is a very optimistic person. Gonzalo wants an utopian world where everyone is happy if he shall be the king there. He also somewhere wants to be a king. Now, when Gonzalo comes on the island, he says that if he rules on this island, he will rule as in a sense that every creature of the island is happy. So he wants a utopian world where everything is perfect. And he also has this secret desire somewhere in his mind of being a king. But Gonzalo is never going to take any evil actions like killing the king to become himself the king, like Antonio or Sebastian. He just nurtures this idea but can never do anything evil to execute his plans. He somewhere wants to be a king. It's not clearly stated that he is power hungry or anything like that. Antonio and Sebastian are bad people and cruel. Okay, so Antonio and Sebastian are clearly bad people, they are cruel. Sebastian lacks brotherly feelings for Alonso. They plot to murder the king, which was considered an act of going against God. So murdering a king was like murdering God. At that time, when Shakespeare wrote, the power of king was very important. The king was considered like a representative of God on earth. So killing the king was like killing God. It was going against God. It was blasphemy. Okay, so it was a big sin. But in spite of that, they are deciding to murder the king just for the sake of, power. So they are very power hungry people, very greedy, bad. Also, they don't realize that they are stranded on an island and can even die. Okay, so they don't realize the possibility of dying on this island. What will they do then by becoming the king? Okay, so if they die on this island, what will they get by becoming the king? Because they are far from the land where they can rule. Ultimately, Prospero is controlling everything to his divine powers. But ultimately, everything on this island is being controlled by Prospero. He's overseeing everybody's plans. He's seeing how everybody is performing. But a bigger irony is that Prospero is not God himself. Okay, so this was an analysis of Act 2 Scene 1, and a video of Act 2 Scene 2 is coming soon. Thank you for watching, guys.